So I'm Alexander Surya Jayani, mole in the right hand, penguin duck birthmark. So a piece of this is a financial crimes scheme floating around America and elsewhere. And there's a bunch of terrorists involved with this financial crimes scheme who are using financial crimes to finance terrorism, organized crime, illegal weapons manufacturing, and distribution. They're involved with covert blackmail, extortion, IP theft, data theft, economic espionage, and more. But part of what they're doing is they're starting rumors about technology, making promises of becoming a billionaire, trying to recruit investors to some game, some technology, etc., etc. And what they're doing is trying to recruit you to this tech, test it out on me, basically illegally, against my will, and then set you up for blackmail and hand tying. So these kids are terrorists. A lot of them are murderers and rapists. They've been pretending to be programmed when they're not even programmed, and raping women, killing people, stealing, committing crimes so severe your mind would be blown. They're not programmed. They're just murderers and rapists and criminals and thugs and thieves who got pulled into some illegal gambling ring and were stealing money from people and then got caught. And now they're being blackmailed and they're in big time debt. So now they're trying to make other people suffer for debts they created for themselves, making poor financial decisions, and they've even been killing people who know the truth. So be wary, but don't get pulled into any odd investments. Don't get pulled into testing technology out on human life. Don't be a fucking moron. And they don't have informed consent, and don't test it on anyone else. It's all a hand tying exercise. So they'll tell you, oh, he's evil, or we've got permission, or this and that, when they don't. And then, you'll go and test it thinking you're walking into some new investment when you're not. You're basically walking into a lion's den, and they're going to get you to use the tech, and it's a radiation dispersal device, a WMD. It's a neurophysiological weapon, which the potential penalty of using neurophysiological weapons is life in prison, potentially the death penalty. So you'll go in thinking you're neuromodulating and becoming a scientist or whatever the fuck these people put in their heads, or looking at $1 billion investment or multi-billion-dollar investment, and then you're testing this technology out on human life illegally, essentially attempting murder, because this has gone on for 5 years and 6 months, and committing assault as well. And then the criminals set you up to come in, blackmail you, tie your hands, and then you go to prison, or you're set up in their criminal organization, and then you're being blackmailed for life. They supposedly blackmail women for sex, money, favors, etc. And then if you don't comply, they may murder you, They may push you around. They may covert slander you with their large-scale communications platforms, slander you to employers, all sorts of stuff. So be wary. These guys are terrorists, murderers, and rapists. They're unfit to be in society. I mean, some of these people watch disabled people ejaculating for a living and sexually assault disabled people for a living, and then try to murder them to cover it up, try to murder them or frame them to cover it up. Anyone who stands against these oppressors and murderers and rapists, they try to slander, murder, or frame. Bet my life on it. Um, some of these serial killers may be people I've encountered in life. They're involved in illegal gambling and organized crime in RICO. So keep in mind, RICO's a big deal. There's illegal gambling, blackmail, betting manipulation, which is robbery, blackmail, which is a form of robbery, extortion, tax evasion, witness tampering. Every time they use this technology on me and assault me is witness tampering, obstruction of justice, etc. So be careful, though. They go into communities, and they even have people involved in their terrorist organization, their financial crimes, organized crime, terrorist organization. And they have people talk up technology to people and try to pull them into their investments. But they're really criminals, and they're all paid to talk it up so that they can recruit you, lure you into their little technology testing den, get you to commit crimes on me or others, and then boom, hand tie you, blackmail you for life, and harm you, harm your family, etc., etc. So now I'm unblackmailable. I tell these guys to eat shit. I've been reporting to law enforcement for so long, it's scary. If I could be blackmailed, do you think I'd show my face on Twitter or YouTube? You think they could see all these? The way you can tell who's blackmailed is they don't write to real law enforcement. They don't make real YouTube videos to the general public like me. They communicate in controlled, covert realms of communication because they're being blackmailed, and because some of them are operating within this criminal system, and they don't realize it. They don't realize part of the way these criminals work is through creating this controlled system of communication where you only communicate with certain people within their system. And then they'll pretend, oh, we'll report to the president or we'll report this, but they really control communication and control information. And they tell you that they do stuff, but that they really don't. The way you break down these guys' system is you operate outside of their system. You communicate with people outside of their system. You don't communicate with specific law enforcement or specific politicians. The way their system operates is through controlling information and preventing information from getting to the right people. So the way you break down their system is operating outside of their system of controlled information and communicating with people outside of their system. And that's how you shut these shitbags down. That's why they got beef with me, is because I don't comply to their system and never did. But you can tell a lot of the people being blackmailed is, and who's being blackmailed is, they know about terrorism, they know about organized crime, illegal weapons testing, they know about breaches of Nuremberg Code and highly illegal, unethical, inhumane human experimentation and terrorism. What person in the right mind who knows about terrorism doesn't report it and doesn't contact real law enforcement, CIA, FBI, United Nations, things of that nature, and only communicates in a realm of controlled information where there's criminals and terrorists and people impersonating law enforcement? What idiot would do that? Well, we caught them impersonating people. We caught them. We figured out a lot of them are criminals, terrorists, and competents, man. We're just going to keep reporting to this system, these criminals in this system. Who would do that? Operate outside of the system. Report to real law enforcement, CIA, FBI. Don't operate and only communicate to people within their controlled system, and communicate with people who are part of their terrorist organization. Operate in reality. Praise Jesus.